Avril Lavigne. Okay, I've got that over with now. I said when I started working on this podcast that Avril Lavigne would be the first two words that I said. Basically, as a kind of honour to her, as she single-handedly invented skateboarding in 2002. I'm a very monotonous speaker, so if you're looking for an over-the-top, multiple-pitch commentary, then this probably isn't the podcast for you. However, if you're looking for a skateboarding podcast about community, individuality, creativity, and to hear the stories behind these skaters, hosted by a stone-sounding voice, then this probably could be the podcast for you. I'm Jonty, and this is Bored to Death. This concept has been in the works since the original lockdown, and to be honest, it was just another idea of mine. I just assumed that I would just forget about it, nothing would happen with it, I wouldn't do anything with it. However, the pandemic kind of changed my way of thinking in a sense of just get it done. Seriously, start doing things. And nearly 2 years later, here we are. I'm by no means the best skateboarder out there. In fact, I would still class myself as a beginner, but does that make a difference? Is every football commentator a footballer? Is every song producer a singer? Maybe I've just put that pressure on myself. I don't know. I just want to be clear and open from the start that I am not a pro or nor an accomplished skater myself. I want to hear people's stories about skateboarding, about what brought them to it, what they love about it, and the sense of community the sport has. One like no other, to be honest. I hope that you can identify and relate with these stories. Maybe it'll make you feel less alone, give you a laugh, or just every time you put your earphones in and just kind of zone the fuck out with us. I'm doing this to improve my confidence with meeting new people, as well as my skateboarding itself, my mental health, and I hope that some people will enjoy listening to other people's stories, laugh, take something from it into their own life, and maybe even meet some new friends of their own. I've never done anything like this, and the sheer idea of meeting all these new people every week is pretty fucking scary, but that's exactly why I'm doing it. So yeah, check it out. If you're listening to it, hopefully you're not bored to death. Hey, so welcome to Bored to Death, the new skateboarding podcast you've probably seen cutting about Instagram. It's weird to kind of be here. I feel like this has been in the works for so long, and I'm sitting in and looking at my amazing guests. This is how just kind of happened. This is the moment. First of all, I just want to say thanks so much to you three guys for coming in to do this, because you had no idea what you were getting yourselves into.
Still don't.
No, it's no problem.
Thank you so much for just agreeing to do it. Today we have got Stuart, and Mary Jane. All of their Instagram handles will be on our Instagram page, and I'll drop it on the description as well. So we're just going to delve in. Let's just take it from the top. Stuart, how did you start skateboarding, or do you remember the first time you did? Do you remember how you got your first skateboard?
Yeah, so for me, I was probably 9 years old. Classic Christmas present from my mum and dad. Didn't know what to get me, so they got me a skateboard. And it sat in the back of a cupboard for probably 6, 7, 8 months until Stockton Skate Park actually got built in Edinburgh, and that was like this new big awesome skate park that was meant to be, you know, the best one in Scotland, all the rest. So I went down there one day, and that was me for about 3 or 4 years. I was pretty much there every weekend, most days after school, skating on this rubbish little like complete skateboard for like 60 quid off Amazon. and yeah, I did that for about 4 years. I was playing a lot of rugby and basketball and things, took my own wee path. Didn't go to skateboarding for about 9 years, and then lockdown hit and COVID hit, and I think like many people right now, I was like an older guy, I got bored. Yeah. I didn't have my team sports going on, and I picked up my skateboard again, and 2 years later here I am, and skateboarding is my career, my life, and my hobbies. So yeah, it's been great.
Amazing. Mary Jane?
I think what Stuart was saying there, lockdown, COVID 2020, yeah. I had this old penny board in my cupboard, and I hate exercising. Like, I hate running, I hate like doing yoga or anything like that, and if I'm exercising, it has to be some sort of fun. So I took the penny board out to the skate park, and then I started talking to people like at a distance, like, you know, like yeah, I got into it from there. Somebody let me borrow their board, and then I don't know, I fell in love with it. So yeah.
Stuart, what about you?
So I started skating when I was 8. I had this pal in primary school, and he was like the coolest kid in school, you know, and everyone did what he did. So his older brother initially started skating, and him being the coolest kid in school, everyone started skating in the whole year group. And then I caught it from that. He actually gave me my first skateboard. It was after school. We went to skate at the school. We had a really good spot. There's mani pads, V2 stairs, everything to learn on. We had a big 10 stair as well at the time, but it's gone now. They put a big dining hall over it. So yeah, I kind of skated there. We'd go in the morning, bring our boards to school, go early so we could skate the wee spots where it was all clear before everyone came in. It was just a good vibe at the time. And as they said, the lockdown as well, I went into high school, and midway through, I think S3, my second or third year, I kind of like fell off it and just like lost interest a wee bit. I didn't completely lose interest. I was on like all the Instagram clips still looking through. I stopped skating at the point. I started doing like other stuff like football, karate. I was playing guitar, but I wasn't like, I didn't love these things. I still do follow these things till today, but it's like
not as much.
It's not as much as skating. And then after the second lockdown, I went back to my local with my brother. Actually, one of my good friends now at skates, Paul, he came down, and I saw someone I knew from high school, and I didn't know he skated. Oh, cool. So it's like a big group there. I was like, you know what, we could make something out of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like a really nice thing. So there's lots of wee kids there as well, and it's like in skateboarding tradition, you know, it's like a big group, so the age doesn't matter. It's a great thing. So I started skating back again. The second lockdown, it's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah. No, good. I mean, what age you said you were 19?
I'm 19 now, yeah.
It's never kind of like went away. It's just always been there. Like, I'd think about it there, 28. And I remember, like, what age are you guys?
I'm 22.
And I'm 27.
So, like, I remember, like, for me getting into it at the start, it was like 2001. And it was like that time where Linkin Park were big. Everyone was wearing Offspring hoodies. Avril Lavigne had just come out. Like, everyone was into that kind of like grunge. Like,
I wasn't even alive at that point.
That makes me feel old. And then that's how I got into it. I was into it for years. And then it was, as Stuart said, like high school, probably the start. Like, it just wasn't on my radar. And then, as I think all three of us have said now, the pandemic. Yeah. And I was saying to Stuart before we come in, there was something that I was just really getting invested in everything in the skate world. I was reading Thrasher because it was a pandemic. I was even reading back issues of Thrasher. I was watching YouTube videos. I was on Instagram, and I came across this comment that Bam Margera had made, where he had said literally like, if you're 30 and you haven't started skateboarding, or you're just beginning, like, stop now. Like, you're too old.
Yeah, I
like,
remember seeing that.
And I was just like, that's shit.
It's ridiculous.
And I was just at that point where I was like, I just started speaking to you, Mary Jane. I'd like bought my helmet, my pads, my skateboard, and I was getting back into it. And I was like, that's literally like the last thing I wanted to see. So whilst I still continued to skate, after seeing that, it made me more think about what else can I do? Like, there has to be more in the community, and there is more in the community to do than just skate or do as well as skating.
There's like so many jobs in skateboarding. There's like the filmers, the editors. Yeah. It's just so like endless possibilities of skateboarding.
Yeah, and right now is a great time to be in it because seeing this booming skate industry, whether it be in the social media side of things, competitions, the Olympics, coaching, parks opening, all these new things are happening. And you know, for like going back to what you're saying about Bam's comment, I saw that as well, and he got a lot of backlash for it because it's actually much the opposite message that the skate community kind of is about, in that, you know, some people might see skateboarding as a bit childish and a bit like young and fun of games, but at the same time, maybe that's what we need a bit more of, you know. I think too many people are just letting themselves grow up at the age of 20, 25, and then they're getting an office job and then all their fun's been had. But it's like, for some reason, a lot of these people end up getting bitter at seeing people enjoying themselves on a piece of wood with four wheels and having so much fun and having a family with it and all these friends and community. And I think, you know, a lot of these people who kind of look down on skaters for continuing to skate throughout their lives, it's probably just a little bit resentful or jealous. You know, they let go of their passions, and skateboarding is something that it's evident, sticks with people throughout their lives. You know, they might not skate as much, they might get older, and they might not be able to do the same tricks as they once could, but the motivation stays with you, and the love for it stays with you, and that kind of inner child, and like, I just want to go out, jump around, have fun, see if I can flip this board around and land on it again. You know, it's so simple, and yet it gets so many people from really dark places. It helps people out, and it brings so many awesome people together as well. So I think it's never too late to start, and actually the later you start, good on you, the more respect you deserve in my eyes.
Wow, like, see, that everything you just said there, that paragraph, I know, I want that in the back of a hoodie, like everything you just said there about everything, that was so good. But it's true, it's like, I wasn't into sports a lot at school at all, and getting into sport now, or at this age, so even looking at Instagram, like, skaters, there are skaters of different races, there are skaters of different sexualities, genders, age, like, it seems like anyone.
Skaters with no legs now. I mean, you've literally got people riding skateboards on their hands with no legs.
Is that South American guy, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him. He's
I mean,
sick.
there's a few of them out there now, and as you're saying about the trans, the LGBTQ plus community and all the rest, I mean, before I started skating 2 years ago, I honestly probably knew 4 gay people and maybe heard of 1 trans person. There was a guy at my school who transitioned from female to male. Now that I've skated for the past 2 years, I've probably met 30 to 40 trans people.
Wow.
20, 30, 40, 50 different people who have come out, or, you know, are gay or bi, or just all these different types of people that really merge together through skating, which I don't think I would have met otherwise, because I was keeping myself to my own communities and, you know, whatever I was doing, rugby, basketball, you know, in my schools. And if these people weren't kind of around me naturally, then I wasn't going out my way to find them. So the fact that skateboarding has brought me, is that it's opened my eyes up to a lot of different people and a lot of different lifestyles and how people live, and it's made me understand, you know, a lot more about these people, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, like, it's more than skateboarding.
Yeah,
exactly. You understand.
I wouldn't have met any of these people if I didn't like skateboarding, you know, and they wouldn't have met me if we didn't like skateboarding, and I wouldn't have continued to see them if we didn't go and skate together.
No, skateboarding is just such a subjective thing. It's like, it's not so skateboarding, but it's like, people say you're a skateboarder, but there's so many different types of skateboarders.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just so nice to see, because there's like different people everywhere, and like, it opens your eyes up. Before like I said, before I started back in the second lockdown, I feel like I was so narrow-minded.
Yeah.
With everything I'd see just from school, you know. And as soon as I started skating, I just, like, you're more open to different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Different people. And
what kind of person you are doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like, no matter the race, age, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a nice community.
It is. It's great.
Especially Glasgow. It's very welcoming. You know what I mean? To anyone which wants to skate, even any community, is like just great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if we can get to know each other even a little bit more. Don't worry, it's not going to be too personal. I'm just going to ask each of our guests 3 questions. We'll start with Stuart.
Yeah.
What is your favourite place to skate in Scotland? Indoor, outdoor, whatever. Or your favourite place you have ever skated in Scotland?
Probably has to be Saughton, only because it's where I first found my love for skateboarding. It's been my local since I've grown up in Edinburgh, and when I restarted skating 2 years ago, Saughton's where I went back and learnt. I guess it's kind of like anyone, you know, if you ask a Rangers fan where their favourite home, you know, favourite football field is, they're going to say it's the Rangers field. Just when you're at that, like, home ground, you feel comfortable in it. You know that park really well. You know when you go down there by yourself, you're probably going to see someone that you know, or at least someone that you've seen there before, because you see the same kind of people around. So yeah, for me it would be Saughton, but that's just that idea of familiarity, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. What about your favourite album of all time? There's no judging here, by the way.
Favourite album? I don't know, it might be an Anderson .Paak number, or Orange by Frank Ocean. Actually, I listen to that a lot.
Orange?
Yeah. I listened to that when I lived in Glasgow at college. That was about 2 years straight in my ears. So yeah, I would probably say that one just now.
And what about your favourite fast food restaurant?
Man, I mean, define fast food. Does it have to be McDonald's, KFC?
Yeah, like along those lines, like fast food.
Right. Does Nando's count?
Okay, we'll take
You can take away from Nando's.
You can take away now, right? Yeah.
And you can get, like, Justy or something?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you not?
I feel like Nando's is something I, from the age of 13 to 20, I just forgot about it because I used to take all the girls on the dates to Nando's back in the day, and then I hit 13, no Nando's.
Well, lucky women.
Oh yeah, only the best, only the best. I didn't get Nando's for like 6 years, and then I had it like 6 months ago, and damn, it's good, right?
Do you guys have Taco Bell in Edinburgh?
Oh, mate.
We've got one, but nah, come on now. Like, I paid £6 to have a bad time in the toilet.
Yeah.
So,
Taco Bell all the way. That was the best thing that's came from America in a long time.
That's great. That is great. You do need to sit in the toilet for a bit after. But
plenty of time to listen to the podcast.
Mary Jane?
Hi.
So it doesn't have to be skateboarding, but what's your favourite country you've ever visited?
That's really difficult. Probably Malta, because it's small, very, very warm, and really beautiful. So I'm going to go with
Short
that.
and sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
What's the best gig you've ever been to?
Oh, country festival. So it's like this country music festival that happens. It happens in Glasgow, London, Dublin, and I think Manchester, are like one of the North English cities. I don't know if it is Manchester. But I went to see it when it was only in London.
Okay.
That was good. That was years and years and years ago. And it was like Chris Young, Brad Paisley, Rascal Flatts before they broke up. So it's like all these country artists all in the kind of one venue.
Cool. And what was your best hangover cure?
When I'm on holiday, just drinking again. That's like if you're in the sun and you're hungover on holiday, just go and get another beer. But if you're in the UK, probably just some water.
Water. Okay.
Yeah.
Stuart,
hello.
what's your drink of choice?
What do you mean by drink of choice? As in
Like alcoholic drink, like the staple.
a gin and tonic.
Okay.
I love a good gin and tonic.
Fair enough. Do you have a favourite skater?
Oh, yes, I do. Hater de Silva is my favourite skater right now. It's just amazing. He has the nicest style.
He's got nice style.
Oh, it's he just flows. He like flows with the skate park. His arms like follow the ramps and all that. It's insane. It's just gorgeous, and he looks the way he lands.
Yeah.
And the last question I'll actually just open up to everyone. Best time to skate, spring or autumn?
That's an odd one.
I mean, I would just say skate all year round, no?
Yeah.
There's never really
I think
a
there's
bad
just
time
been
to
like
skate.
so much just now, like everybody on Instagram or from what I've seen is like counting down to summer, like I can't wait till it's summer, I can't wait till it's summer. Like the winter is just like obviously outdoor is.
No, well,
I think
spring.
if you framed the question like summer or winter, but you framed it spring and autumn.
No.
Which you're
To
not
be
that
fair,
different.
I can get what that means.
I think that's
I
why,
get what I mean.
because like if
Yeah.
I'd said summer or winter,
It would have been
it's
summer.
obviously
Yeah.
summer.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like
No, spring. I think spring would be better, just because it's like the transition into summer where it starts to get warm.
Yeah.
Autumn's like
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
you've
when
got
you're
the
going
leaves on
into
the
winter,
ground.
so it's like wet
more
leaves on the
depressing.
ground.
Yeah.
Going and you're like, oh, should I go loading bay or should I chance it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got
Right
like
now?
twigs going under your wheels. You got loose pebbles
Literally,
and leaves.
you're just
and-
sliding all about the
Yeah.
skate park.
Yeah.
Okay, when you put it like that, yeah.
okay. So each week on the show, what we're going to do is we're going to pick one word and we're going to talk about it. And there's no rules here. It's anything at all that you want to talk about regarding this word. So this week, to kick off, the word is confidence.
Okay.
So like, where does your confidence come from skating? What knocks your confidence from skating?
Definitely when you start skating as a beginner, the people which are a lot better than you, obviously better than you, knock the confidence off you. But there are the people which are going to help you. We go about, like, the skaters which are a lot more comfortable on the skateboard go about and, like, they don't care who's skating around them, just as long as you're not getting hurt by you know what I mean? But it's like you can come up to anyone and ask them about anything and we'll give you a straight answer. We won't be, like, aggressive towards you. Like, the best place to get your confidence from is the people which are confident in the skate park and they know what they're doing, because they will give you the best tips and just listen to what they say, and that's the best way to get into skateboarding.
This is a controversial opinion in the skate community.
That's what we're here
But
for.
my confidence comes from wearing a helmet and pads. Because like I know a lot of skaters just don't choose to do that. But like the fact that like I know that if I fall on my head that I'm not going to crack my skull open. and die. And that gives me a bit more confidence to like do stuff on the board. And I know some people feel that way, but I know a lot of skaters just cannot skate with pads on at all.
No, I totally get that. I respect that, but I just physically don't think I'd be able to wear a helmet and like it would just be wobbling a bit in my head. You know what I mean? It would be so distracting.
Yeah,
Not if it fits
right.
properly.
No, I cannot even skate with a beanie on. That's how bad it is.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, going back to what Stuart was saying about other people as well. People at skate park that's where you're going to learn how to skate. You know, you can watch as many YouTube tutorials as you want and like, I can flick my ankle that way and it'll flip this way, but it's not going to work. You know, I tried it as a kid for like 4 years trying to read myself into being able to skate. And I think confidence, the first couple of times you're going to go to the park, you're going to be nervous. I was nervous. I used to be a quite good skater. I came back 9 years later and I felt like a little kid again. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anyone at the park. I was unfamiliar surroundings and I was like Bambi on ice. And you do feel a bit daft. And, you know, that first day I went home and I was like, well, is this something I actually want to go back and do? I just made a bit of a fool of myself. Is this, you know, do I want to go back and like fall over again, get another bruise on my ass and get laughed at by some 12-year-olds doing like indie grabs and stuff? But the answer was yes. And I did. I got up and I went. And I did it. And I mean, here I am today. And I think that's what gave me a lot of confidence, was just like pushing yourself in the morning to get yourself to go. And once you're there, the confidence will come, you know. As you go down one ramp, the first time it's going to be sketchy. The second time it's going to be a bit less sketchy. By the time you've done it 20 times, you're going to be like, oh, I've done that. And you can look back and say, half an hour ago I was scared of that. Now I've done it. There's your confidence right there. You know, you shouldn't really, hopefully shouldn't need too many other people to push you over the edge and give you that confidence. Because really, if you're not really willing to do it yourself and you're not willing to put your own confidence in and do the work and try and actually progress and rely on other people to try and make you better, you're not going to get anywhere, you know. And that's why one of the things I love about the skate community is I find it weeds out the quitters and the people who are there to be there for the image. Or it weeds out the people who aren't there for skating, you know. If you turn up to the skate park, the guys that are there every week are the guys that love skating, you know. And then you'll see the odd guy come in here and there in his Thrasher hoodie and his Dickies trousers and his Carhartt hat with a brand new deck and nice new indies. And you're like, oh yeah, this must be a new guy. He must shred. And he'll stand on that board and he'll wobble about and he'll think he's too cool to come and speak to everyone. And he won't be back next week. You know, he'll do 2-3 times and he'll go like, oh God, I thought that was going to be easy. It's way harder. And then they don't want to make a fool of themselves because it's not cool to fall over. And, it's, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not cool. And so they'll leave. And that leaves you with just the people who are there for the love of skating for the same reasons that you're there. And so if you fall over in front of them, it doesn't matter because they're going to fall over in front of you and you're there for the same reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I think about it. It's like, do you ever like, say if like you're starting a new job and you're nervous and the person that's training you or whoever's like, everybody's been where you are. Like, and it just, even for that 3-4 seconds, it makes you feel a bit better.
Yeah, like
because you have to start somewhere at the end of the day.
Like everyone in here, and even that guy over there who's just doing like the coolest stuff and he looks so cool, like whether it was like 2 weeks, 4 months or 3 years ago, like he was where I'm at today.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just makes you feel.
No, I feel skateboarding has evolved to the point where it's not really, you can be good at skateboarding, but it's like anyone can be good at skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's the way you perceive yourself as a skateboarder, which is what makes you impressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, all the tricks have pretty much been done, you know. There's not much of a market there for trying to make a new trick or, oh, I'm going to do this because other people can't do it. Nowadays, most people at a high level of skateboarding can do most of the tricks, and that's just how it is. So as Stuart's saying, it's not actually now about what can I do that other people can't do. It's, you know, how do I perceive obstacles and how do I perceive skateboarding and how do I skate in comparison to other people? What's my style? What's my flow?
I think a really good person to like vision that would be Johnny Brown. You've seen him. He takes these obstacles and does funny things with them, and it's insane. It's absolutely nuts the way he skates these things. Are just absolutely
the
amazing.
Andy Andersons, all these people who, you know, they go to the same parks as everyone else, but they just see them in a completely different way, and and that's a whole different level of skating. That's a whole different type of skating to everyone else that they're doing in the park. You know,
their creativity. It's beautiful.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
You had an injury.
I knew this was going to come up.
Was it like last Christmas or that? So my question is on that.
Yeah.
Coming back from that, or I mean, there's a different element to that. Coming back from that injury, how did you get your confidence back?
So yeah, I broke my ankle in October 2020 and I needed surgery. So I got 2 like plates and like some bolts and stuff like that. And it's basically bionic now. And it took a while to recover from that. And I want to say that I'm still gaining back confidence with it. Like there's some things that I just won't do now that if I feel like I'm not going to be stable enough on the board. But I think it's a good thing because it tethers me a little bit. Like, and I think before when I was skating from like obviously lockdown to October 2020, I didn't have like any fear, which is dangerous in a way. Because like you can be confident, but you can be delusional.
That's very true.
Yeah, and I think I was a wee bit delusional when I first started skateboarding.
You get away with that when you're 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah, you get away with
that.
Yeah.
One
you feel
bad mistake.
everything.
Yeah,
you feel everything when you fall.
You don't get away with that when you're an adult. So like that's how I broke my ankle, because I was absolutely delusional and thought I was invincible. So yeah, there's confidence, and I think I'm slowly scratching that back, and it's just a case of realising that was probably the worst case scenario, really, like breaking my ankle.
Yeah.
Like I don't see myself having another injury like that in the next,
I'm touching wood.
Yeah, I know. We're all touching the desk. I don't see myself having an injury like that in the next 4 or 5 years, hopefully, fingers crossed. So it's just a case of try to get that out of my head, because it was really traumatic. I remember the first time it happened in the loading bay bowl, and I remember the first time my board flew from the mini ramp into the bowl, and I had to get into the bowl to go get it after I broke my ankle, and I had to crawl back into that bowl where I broke it.
Oh no.
And I was like, I just had a panic attack. Like I got into the bowl, I got my board, I climbed back out, and I went and sat in the loading bay corner, and I just like was sitting shaking, like because I had to go back in there.
I mean, that is traumatic. It's not a great. It's not.
However, if you're thinking of starting skating, that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. It doesn't. No, I was delusional. Yeah. But yeah, it was traumatic in the sense that it was quite a rough injury, and there was a lot of healing to be done from it. Like I was on crutches for a while. The drugs that they give you, like the opioids, are really, really rough as well. So that's what you get to kind of heal from it. And I don't recommend it to anyone. That's why confidence is good, but you need to know your limitations as well. You need to be able to say, well, maybe I shouldn't send it on this 6-foot ramp if I haven't tried it on this 3-foot ramp. You need to kind of...
Yeah, it's a gradual thing, skateboarding.
Yeah.
You can't get from one place to another straight away. It takes hours of practice.
And I think that's where a lot of people end up quitting or giving up, is because they go into skating and go, I'm going to do a couple of weeks of this, and then I'll be dropping in, I'll be doing a kickflip, I'll do this. And they go for 4 or 5 days, and they're like, damn, I'm still just standing on the board and I can't even turn the thing properly. And then they're like, this is way harder than I thought. And so again, it gives you that respect to the people who are good on a skateboard, because you see them on a skateboard and you just know that to be that good, you've put in thousands and thousands of hours and you've been committed to it. Because there's no fast way of doing it. If you try and drop into a 12-foot vert ramp on your first day of skating, you will end up like Mary Jane.
Yeah.
So go for the 1 or 2 foot ramp first of all, and then in 6 months' time you'll be on that 12-foot ramp, but you'll still be in a cast in 6 months' time if you try it on day 1. So
I think a good way to think about it, and a good way to think about your confidence, is every time you stand on a board, every time you push on a board, it doesn't matter if you're just cruising, you're improving, because every time you stand on a board, you're thinking of your shoulders, you're thinking of your hips, you're thinking of your legs and bending your legs. And even those, so just think about the little bits of progress that you're making
100%.
instead of thinking about the big bits of progress. Oh, I'm not getting this axle stall. You need to think about how everything is. You don't need to concentrate on...
Even the things you're not having to think about, you're saying about turning your shoulders, but all the muscle memory is all, that's all subconscious.
I try to
every time you stand on a board.
Beginners that it's not so much about the tricks, like I'm saying again, it's how comfortable you are.
How controlled
the
you
more
are,
comfortable you are, the tricks come with it. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
There's no other way. You can stand and push, and when you start getting comfortable on your board, you'll be like, oh, I understand how to just pop this board.
Yeah.
You just understand the fundamentals. The fundamentals are so incredibly important.
Yeah.
Where do you guys usually skate?
Well, I mean, I skate at work a lot. I'm got
Oh,
the
yeah.
pleasure of
Where
working in a
is it
skate
you work?
park. I work at Transgression in Edinburgh.
I've never been to the.
No,
I
same. I mean,
I've
it's a
skated
small
in many
park.
places in Scotland. I've skated
Yeah.
in very few select places.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same. I've only been skating again properly for 2 years as an adult, as I was saying. So I've only had so much time to try and skate around the country. But I've got the pleasure of every day I'm at a skate park, so I've always got the surrounding around
That's
me.
amazing.
You know, you're not skating every day because you're working and you're teaching other people how to skate, but just for me, I get paid to be surrounded by the community and all these other things we've just been speaking about.
Literally living the dream.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I am. I've only been here 2 years in the skate community, and yet I've got the job that everyone who I talk to is like, man, that like,
Yeah.
are you looking to hire? You know, who can you bring on? Because everyone just wants, every skater wants to have their own skate park or to live in a skate park. You know.
Oh, so do you live in the skate park?
Pretty much, man. I mean, I live around the corner in a
Yeah,
flat, but
you should get a wee
I'm there
bed under
5
the
days a
wraps, I
week.
think.
Oh yeah, I think so. as well.
Cut the costs.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It is great. But so yeah, I skate Transgression. I skate Stockton when I can, and I come through to Glasgow for Loading Bay and Kelvin Grove.
Do you ever skate Porty?
Yeah, I do actually.
Porty's a nice park.
It is good. I just find it too many kids on scooters when I go there, and I end up
Makes it hard to skate.
either
I feel,
hurting
makes it
someone
fun.
else or hurting myself. So.
I think. What was the question? Sorry.
Where do you skate? I think.
Where do you skate?
Where
Or
do
where
I
do you like
skate?
to skate?
Like obviously Loading Bay, despite my traumatic experience in the bowl, is pretty much like one of my favourites. And then Kelvin Grove, but I skate all over, like because like I'm
Yeah,
always
you do.
travelling. Like
Yeah.
so I've been down to like places like Brighton and like Manchester and you know all these kind of places, and I've skated there. And I think another thing for confidence actually is probably going to different skate parks because you're giving yourself different obstacles, and you're basically forcing yourself to you know talk to other communities and try and, like,
adapt.
and yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kelvin Grove or Loading Bay I think are like my go-tos in Kirkintilloch. Which is a weird park. It's really old, but it's nice.
What about you, Stuart?
I've got to say, Rick and Glen, RG, my home. I love that place. During summer, we don't have lights, so we try and make the most of our day. We go, me and my friends try to go as early as we can, catch sunlight, stay till it gets dark. So in summer it'll be like 11, half 11.
Yeah.
Gets to 12 sometimes. Not even when it's dark, we're still there trying to fight the midges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the best place ever. I love skating that place. It feels like home. Feels.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Literally, I could sleep in the ramps. I wouldn't even need like a mattress or anything. It's if I fall, I don't even care. I'm just lying in Rook and Glen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, you say that right, but like Leeds Skate Park, Hyde Skate Park, they're actually like the ramps are hollow. And like you can
Really?
see people's like beer bottles and like and stuff inside the
no.
ramps. I think people
No,
actually
we-
do sleep in there. And
Really?
it's-
No, even if we did, we keep it at a very good like sanity. You know, it's
yeah.
The first time I got back into it, it was Mary Jane. We went to the Loading Bay, and I was so nervous, like so nervous. I nearly like just never got on the train to go that morning. But we went. I think it was like a Wednesday at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, my best advice for your confidence as a beginner, that's the time to go. Like
Yeah.
for me, it was like
Definitely.
it was very quiet. It was very calm in the Loading Bay. It was just a nice vibe, a nice experience, and it made me want to come back. Like, see if I had went and done that on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, 80% chance like I would never have come back.
20 skateboards.
Yeah, it's just too intimidating.
A busy skate park is not great for confidence. Like you said
Definitely.
earlier about like the sort of more like accustomed skaters like just flying by and doing their thing and stuff like that. It can be really intimidating, especially if you have like anxiety and other disorders where you suffer from things like hypervigilance, where like a noise or a sudden movement can make
just
you
set
kind
you
of
off.
like stiff up and like really scared. Then yeah, you want to go when it's quiet because then you don't have so much other things to think about. You're thinking about you're progressing. You're thinking about your skateboarding, and that helps a lot, I reckon. Yeah.
Is there anything you want to do this summer? Whether that be go to a new place, master a new track?
Well, this summer, me and my group of friends, I've got a few friends. We're working on something, which will be hopefully released by summer. We're putting a lot of work into it, so we're working on something reasonably big. I don't want to say it's massive, but
don't tell me it's a podcast.
no, it's not a podcast. But
sounds like a skate video.
it could be. It could be.
knows, who
But
knows?
we've got a good few skaters on the team now.
Cool.
And we're
Nice.
really excited for that. Shred Shack as well, my sponsor, is going
Yeah.
to be making a few videos. We're going to be putting some videos out on YouTube and
Nice.
Instagram.
Cool. No, we'll
So-
definitely get everything linked onto the page. What about you, Stuart?
I just skate. I want to go to as many different places as I can.
Yeah.
Hoping to maybe go up north or down south, somewhere in the UK that I've not skated before. Maybe even go abroad in the summer if I can get away for a couple of weeks. That'd be sick. Go and skate Barcelona or something. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Yeah,
so-
I've got that planned for
Yeah.
I think June.
Nice.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
so excited.
I mean, this year is the year I'm going to do it at some
Yeah.
point, but yeah.
We're going to go
Yeah.
to that festival as well, and then skate before the festival. We'll see how that goes, but
Nice.
see how knackered we
Camp
get.
out in Macba.
Barcelona
That's
seems
right.
to be like the one.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's
did you
definitely
ever-
one of the European hubs.
Did
It's
you
the skate
watch,
capital of the world, isn't it? It's a Vice video, isn't it?
Yeah, it was
You're-
Bam Margera's Epically Latered. So he'd moved over to Barcelona, like I think it was to get sober or whatever.
Right.
But he was just learning learning again to skate in
Yeah.
it. It's on YouTube. It's Vice that does it. It was so cool, and the places that he goes and some of the clips are
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah, my brother and a few of the skate group went when we were younger. This is prior to me quitting
Yeah.
and taking my wee break. They went, and I was so jealous, but I was just too young to go.
Yeah.
Still in school, and they went. My brother went for a 6th-year holiday, and then a few of them were older. And he told me everywhere he walked, every corner he turned was a skate spot.
Yeah.
And they only got kicked out once. They could skate anywhere, but just once, I'm pretty sure, like a restaurant owner, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
He's keeping his business alive. But it's just, it sounds amazing. It sounds like a dream, and I'm just so excited for it.
Yeah.
Well, I keep going on about it, but obviously I've booked San Francisco and California for
Oh, you should have
September.
mentioned it. Right.
Oh yeah. I mentioned that. I can't wait. Like I'm meeting up
bet
with
you
some.
can.
Yeah.
I know. I'm meeting up with some of my US friends, and like we're gonna skate some of the spots. Like I'm buzzing.
That's a life experience, though. That's
Yeah,
like
that
that
is.
is like a life experience.
Yeah, like and I'm not going just to skate. Obviously, there's
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things that I want to do there. Like I want to go to like Venice Beach, and like I know they have a skate park, but I want to go and see other parts of California. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
That
like
sounds amazing.
That's
That'll
what
be
I'm
good.
planning for the summer.
I think JJ, my manager, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but oh well. Sorry, JJ, if I'm not meant
Well,
to
we
say
can
this.
take it out, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think he's planning. We've had a few like for Shred Shack. We've collaborated with a few companies in America,
Right.
and I think he's gonna fly us out one by one
Nice.
to go there. So that sounds really exciting. I think it might be in summer, but it'll be over the course of this year, maybe
Yeah.
next year, because it's one person at a time apparently. So
Sweet, man.
hopefully
had
I'll
a
get one of the
shred-
first trip.
I had a Shred Shack board. Like,
Oh,
they're really good.
they are
like,
really nice to skate.
Nice concave on them.
It's very clean
I need to
feeling.
try one.
Yeah.
Well, mate, you can use my code.
I'll drop it in the description.
You're not going to try it.
Another thing I want to do for every episode is called the Bored to Death Song of the Day. So each episode, I'm going to ask our guests to pick one song. This can be a song you just like, a song that you've put in a skate video, a song that you like to listen to when you're skating, and everyone's songs are going to go into a Spotify playlist so that everyone can just press shuffle and have a listen at what everybody likes. So
Nice. Yeah, that's a good
Right.
idea. I like that.
Stuart, song of the day, what's yours?
I'll go with La U by Anderson .Paak. So like LUHU, Anderson .Paak.
Cool.
I can't even, like, I don't know her name. Like, it's Bay something, BEAU. And the song's called That Bitch.
Oh, like,
And it's a proper banger. Yeah.
I might put it on the drive home.
Yeah.
I'll go for my favourite song right now. It's Hope by Alex G. It's a really good song. Very nice and calming.
nice.
Cool. I think for me, with it just being the first episode, I'm going to pick the song Bored to Death by Blink 182.
Oh.
Nice.
That is one of their best, like, later ones. It obviously, like, actually never was on purpose to call the podcast this. I actually just realised it later. And it's a very good summery vibe song. So, yeah.
Very fitting.
I was expecting an Avril song, I'm not going to lie. I was like waiting for you to say some
Taylor
Avril.
Swift or something.
They'll come. They will come. They will definitely be coming soon. But yeah, thank you to my 3 guests, Stuart and Mary Jane. I'm going to drop, as I said at the start of the episode, their Instagram handles on the post. But as again, thank you guys so much for agreeing to do this. Like, this means a lot. Like,
it was a pleasure.
I
really enjoyed
it. It was great.
So yeah, that is signing out, and we'll see you guys next week.